Hello and welcome back to another episode of HBO Max. I'm your host, Makenna, as per usual. Joining me as always is Brandon. How are you today, Brandon?
I've been drinking a lot of cold brew today, so I am pretty amped.
Woo! And joining us, our very special guest, JimTasty, Brett. Brett, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Me and Jose were talking a couple days ago about doing a podcast together again, and he let me pick the movie, and I was like, what better movie to pick than seminal 2013 comedy cult classic 21 and Over. So I'm super happy to be here, and like, what else am I going to talk about this movie? So very, very excited.
Yeah, this is a movie. I asked Brandon before this. Is like I hope I watched the right one. I don't know how many other movies there are called 21 Over, but
there is like a different cut for Chinese audiences. I tried to find it really hard. I couldn't. Like you really probably have to go to like some Chinese, Netflix or something and get it there. But yeah, couldn't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes it's a trip. It's certainly a trip. Before we get into our thoughts, I'll go over some facts and figures about the movie. It was released March 1st, 2013 with a budget of $10 to $13 million. It made a little over $48 million. Miles Teller, who's one of the stars of the movie, was nominated. It wasn't nominated for many awards, so I was really
surprising.
Scraping the barrel. He was nominated by the Georgia Film Critics Association for the Breakthrough Award. He was nominated. I could not find who won. And then the directors won Directors to Watch at the Palm Springs International Film Festival in 2013.
Wow.
So they got one win. They got one win.
Wow.
Justin Chon, who plays Jeff Chang, another one of the stars, was 32 years old in this movie, playing a 21-year-old. And particularly for Brandon, he played Eric Yorkie in the Twilight movies. I don't know who Eric Yorkie is, but
yeah, he does.
He was in them.
I wanted to check in on this real quick because Directors to Watch, of course, is the award that they won, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, so this movie had two directors.
Yes.
The first director, John Lucas, would direct. 3 years later, he would direct Bad Moms.
Okay.
And then he would follow that up with A Bad Mom's Christmas and a movie called Jexy, which I have not heard of. Let's see. Scott Moore, the other director, what else has he done? Same movies, Bad Moms and Jexy. So good thing we kept an eye on these guys. Man, Directors to Watch.
Yeah, but we gotta go back right before this, right? Didn't they co-write and direct or in some capacity with
they were collaborators on The Hangover.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that
I think they produced and I think they wrote some of The Hangover.
Can we all agree here that's like a comedy classic of that age?
It is like it was like one of the big. It's one of the things I thought about when I was watching this movie was that like there's definitely like they thought this was going to be like a Super Bad or a Hangover where it was like this is going to be the big memorable comedy from this year, and it's not.
I've never seen The Hangover, but I'm sure if I did, I would have agreed with you.
Oh my gosh. Jose blew my mind the other day when he said that you never saw The Dark Knight, and I believe today is the 14th anniversary.
14th anniversary of The Dark Knight today was.
So when's the Hangover's anniversary? You gotta do that.
The Hangover that must have come out
summer, right? Summer comedy.
Yeah, it came out. I remember being on summer break. I want to say it was right before my freshman year of high school, so like summer 2009.
Yep.
Oh, we just missed it. June. Yeah. Dang.
Love to go back for it.
Yeah, next year. We'll get it next year.
Write that down. All three. Okay, so this is also similar to how they weren't nominated, shockingly, for a lot of awards. They didn't have a lot of trivia on the IMDb page, so this too is sort of scraping the bottom of the barrel. All three lead actors have co-starred with Anna Kendrick in some way.
Yeah.
Wait.
Pitch
Miles
Perfect.
Teller. Yeah, Pitch Perfect.
Okay, no, I can get these. Pitch
Okay.
Perfect.
Go for it. Okay.
Is the movie called Get a Job?
Yep.
And Twilight.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, get a job.
There you go. Wow, big Anna Kendrick fan. And then, as Brett mentioned earlier, the Chinese version has a couple additional scenes at the beginning and the end. Jeff Chang, instead of being Chinese American, he's a Chinese transfer student at an American college, and it's quoted. The scenes add change the storyline to be a boy who leaves China. Oh, I can't read my writing. Oh, gets corrupted by our wayward Western partying ways and goes back to China a better person. And that was the Chinese version of the movie.
I would have loved to see that, because I mean, just from the cut that they actually made, you don't really have to change too much of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So because the Western ways kind of get him anyways in this movie. And
there are a couple things that I wonder what the actual change, what's his dad? Do they cut that character out, or is he not his dad in that version? What's going on there?
Yeah,
it
it's
makes sense for him to be an exchange student and his dad came with him.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, so I'm picking you up. Let's go.
Yeah,
back to
maybe
China.
maybe it's it's his the family that they sent him to in America or something.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, that was just wild that they did that. I don't know how much they filmed. Maybe they did.
I believe I've seen it. The ending is a title card that just says Jeff Chang went home and went back to China, and I think it's just something at the beginning where they establish that he is an exchange student. There's not much else that's changed.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I tried to look up the citation on Wikipedia, but it wasn't loading for whatever reason. So I don't know. It's a mystery, I guess, for now.
I doubt this movie even still in circulation in China, or do they just
Yeah, I don't know how it works over there. I know obviously they won't put in the Marvel movies or whatever sometimes. So I don't know what a back catalog, looks like over there. But yeah, it's maybe a DVD copy in some meat market in
you got to go track down a
Shanghai.
Yeah. Chinese 21 and over.
Let's go. Hey, listen, if we take off when HBO Max takes off and we start getting them big bucks, we'll go to China and find 21 and over. Why not? That's
the China cut. Let's go.
the China cut. BoneCon. Us in China. In the final trivia tidbit, I've got the tampon candy, or the tampon that Jeff Chang eats, was a custom candy bar made of marshmallow. He didn't eat an actual tampon,
That makes sense.
I was how that
Yeah.
part was how blitzed was this guy that he was just straight up eating a tampon.
That's what I was watching this movie. Is whoever wrote this movie's never been drunk before. Because the alcohol in this movie is just magic. Jeff Chang drinks 6 bottles of alcohol at the beginning of this movie and doesn't just die. The other characters they're never drunk.
Yeah, I was confused by that. They were pretty coherent.
That was something I was kind of tracking, not actually writing down, but just mentally tracking of okay, how much are they drinking? Where are they going? Especially later on in the movie when they have to go up the party tower.
The Tower Power.
Tower Power, yeah.
Oh, the Tower Power.
I was I think you just have to assume, right, that like, especially what's his name?
Miles Teller, the
No, Casey. Especially
Okay.
Casey, he was definitely probably like the chaperone figure, obviously. So he probably drank a little less, and then obviously
that's what I was
Miller
like.
was
Assume at
like,
the beginning, like, okay, they're going out to get Jeff Chang drunk, and they're not going to drink that much. Maybe get a little buzzed. But like when they went through the Tower of Power and they come out and they're just they're not acting any different. I'm just like, come on, man. Just like this movie would make so much more sense if all three of them were just blitzed.
that, like, because they like in video games do this a lot, but like Jose, you probably would know, like, has a movie really shown visually well like what being drunk looks like? Because with this movie, obviously, like, they're drinking a lot, but then they're clearly like not. They probably didn't drink as much as Jeff Chang, but like they're not like, they're still like aware of their faculties for the most part, and stuff like that. So that is interesting. It's one of those, just like, you just got to keep the story going, and so you can't have them as drunk as Jeff Chang was.
Yeah, like they don't got to be like that drunk, but just like when apparently they walk by his house like 4 times and don't notice, that would make a lot more sense if it was visually like, okay, these guys are drunk.
Dude, like, not to blow up my own spot here, but I've had moments like that too, where like I was like not in 100% cognizant, and I was like walking by other people's houses that I was supposed to like go to or whatever. So like that part totally tracked. I was like, of course, like, you're brand new on campus with 40,000 people. It's a big campus.
Yeah. As someone who is newly 21 and newly drinking, I still have a lot to learn. But I haven't been like, okay, granted, there was a moment recently that if I would have,
before the podcast, you just told me a story about you passing out in a cab, Makenna. So
whoa.
Okay, if I would have gone on the tube, I wouldn't have found my way home. But luckily, I was in an Uber.
Wait, quick question. So, what did everyone do for their 21st birthday? Just like a quick recap. Like, did anybody get as blitzed as Jeff Chang did, or like, well, like,
I got drunk on my 21st birthday, but I didn't get like crazy. That's one thing that this movie, like, they talk about, they were drinking before. So like going out on your when you've already been drinking for a couple of years, going out on your 21st birthday isn't like that crazy of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
At least it wasn't for me. Like we went to a club and got drunk and then it was at a casino, and then we went and gambled for a bit. And like, I was wasted, but like not passed out.
Yeah. Like, for me, like, I mean, my college was like a huge party, like, campus, and so I was like drinking way before I turned 21. So my 21st birthday was actually just like, I went to like a pub, or and just got a couple drinks with friends, and then just chilled. And the weekends after and before were probably way crazier, ironically. But my 21st birthday was actually kind of chill.
It's my 21st birthday. I did not drink until 3 months after my 21st birthday. My actual 21st birthday, I was at home. I watched a soccer game. I went out to a nice dinner with my family, and then I made them all play a board game with me. That was my 21st birthday. And then 3 months later is when I actually divulged in bevy time.
You got drunk with Josh Makuga.
I did get drunk with Josh Makuga.
Wow.
So I guess it makes up for it.
There you go.
I learned a lot.
Jeff Chang's 21st birthday sucks. Like, your friends from high school who you apparently don't talk to that much show up and are like, "Hey, fuck all the other people that you know. We're just gonna go to a bar and get you really drunk." The movie doesn't, like, he doesn't have any other friends. Like, he hasn't made friends at college, but they don't know that when he's showing up. So they're just like, "Hey, let's have like an awful
honestly
birthday party for you."
Honestly, though, this movie, great example of how important mental health is, because they talk about it at the end. Like, man, like we don't really know our boy. Like, we need to reach out to him and let him know that he can come to us for, you know, any problem or need. So hats off to 21 and Over, really, you know,
This
exemplifying
movie
how important.
pulls its punches so fucking hard, dude.
Are you serious? You think so?
There's clearly a point that you could tell that they wanted to go one direction and just got scared and copped out.
Because there's some times in this movie where they go pretty far. I feel like
It's okay. They do. It starts off, but it's like complete tonal whiplash every time they do it. You just go from like one ridiculous scene to all of a sudden being like, our friend tried to kill himself. Wow, that's fucked up. Anyway, the next stupid thing we go do. Like, it's just like they just every single time they just slam on the brakes in the movie and just like, you're just like, what the, it's a different movie now all of a sudden.
yeah.
I wrote that in my notes. This took many turns. Like, especially the gun in particular, like completely like a whiplash. I was like, oh, this is where we're going with this.
Those parts of the movie are so badly written because they never give an explanation for why he took the gun out that night. They were just like, we have to have him find the gun. I don't know. He just has the gun on him, I guess. Like,
yeah, it was in his baggy pants pocket or something.
Yeah, it's just like, why would he take the gun out with him that night? Like, he has no they never give a reason for why he had, like, it would have made more sense if they had like found it in his house before they went out and were like, oh, we should talk. Why does he have a gun? We should talk to him about that later. And then you get the reveal. But they're just like, it's like they forgot to include it. And on the day they were shooting, they were like, fuck, we forgot to put in the gun part. Just have him find the gun. Just he finds the gun now.
There's the gun.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's for me. Yeah, that part is shaky, but I mean, when they're at the pep. By the way, I have never ever, like, my town, like my first year, like people were throwing like flaming couches off of roofs and stuff. Like, it was nuts. I've never had a pep rally at like 11 p.m. or whatever, like whatever day. Like, I know. And then okay, let's get into this. State, like, what they're at a college. What state competition are they playing in? Unless it's like the Iron Bowl or something like that, you know, where it's like, but like that's like I feel like that's a high school thing, right? Like state.
Yeah.
College, like you're going all over the country,
Like
or
division
whatever.
stuff.
Yeah,
like,
because you play
specific.
like the ACC championship or whatever.
Yeah,
a
you don't
bowl
play
game.
state.
You don't play in a state title.
But they
game
say
in
that,
college.
and they have a pep rally at like 11 p.m. on like a Friday or Saturday night. Like,
So I will say I lived in a pretty crazy college town, Chico, California. It used to be like the number one party college in America, and it's since stopped being that. Like, they shut the city down on Halloween. Like, bars aren't allowed to open on Halloween anymore because people regularly people died on Halloween every single year.
jeez.
Yeah, Chico's nuts. So like pep rallies at like super late at night. I've heard of that before. But like this school's fucking huge. Like,
Yeah, they filmed it in Washington?
Yeah.
like Washington
University
State
of
or
Washington.
something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Shout out to Markel Fultz.
They just like they go so many different like they go from like being in the middle of the college campus to just being out in the woods somewhere where there's a buffalo and shit.
That was like that part. Like, again, this movie is so dumb that like when Randy gets just rammed in the butt by the buffalo or bison or whatever, like that's what works for me, dude. On like a base level of like being a human, like that just cracks me up. I don't know.
There are a couple jokes that got me. That was one of them. I thought that was pretty funny. I wish there was more stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this movie doesn't have a lot of jokes in it, actually.
I would argue Miles Teller, like, I feel like every time he was speaking, he had like some crazy quip. Like,
It's like it's not like actual like on-screen jokes, right? It's more like, I think they try to like replicate the Hangover humor of like quippy, really fast stuff. And it doesn't work as well as it does in The Hangover, right? Because The Hangover has a bunch of super memorable stuff in it. This one, like, I remember there was only one joke in this movie, like, really made me laugh out loud. And I can't even remember what it was. Like, all the jokes in this movie just, like, immediately left my brain after I was done watching it.
There were some, like, because obviously Casey's like the straight man, right? He's kind of like, and then Miles Teller's bouncing off him, and then Jeff Chang is almost like the MacGuffin, or he's not even really a character in some respects. But I mean, this movie, like when they're doing the Tower of Power, like they're talking about like they're playing Serbs or whatever when they're playing beer pong, and they're like making like Balkan state jokes and stuff, and I'm like, what the like. I've never heard any jokes about the Balkan states or the history of that area from the past 100 years. I'm like, but it's in this movie. Like that's like,
yeah, it's.
I think that's like, honestly, I think that's the brilliance of like these like crude low level comedies, is that sometimes they will like, you're like, wait, what? They're talking. It's like, what?
Yeah,
like,
I would like more of that in this movie. There's a lot of the stuff in the movie where it's just like. I don't know, man.
Having sex with your sister, stuff like that.
Oh my god,
Makenna, what did you think of the movie?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say there was a point about halfway through it where I thought they were gonna wrap it. I didn't realize it was I still had 45 minutes. But it seemed like it was going to wrap up, and I was like, wow, that hour and a half went by really quick, dude. And then I looked at the time, I was like, oh no, I still have another half of this movie to get through. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, most of it, except for the serious things, of course. But I really liked the Tower of Power. That was maybe my favorite part of their quest to get home, or to get Jeff Chang home. Just because I don't know, I like a good game, so it seemed like fun.
Yeah, every great party movie has to have some like competition segment, like where they have to like compete or do something to achieve like that next step in their quest, and literally manifesting it in like a tower of like this apartment complex. I was like, that's cool. Yeah. It from playing video games. Like, okay, it's like boom, 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 boom going up. Yeah. I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
So,
and then, oh, sorry, go on.
Here's the thing about the Tower of Power. Okay.
Break it down for me.
Go for it.
Aren't the games supposed to be progressively harder as you go up the tower?
Dude, that's what I had that exact same thought, because and then like what's can you just fail infinitely amount of times, or like
exactly,
like
there's no stakes in the Tower of Power.
Yeah.
Is it like 3 strikes you're out, like like baseball or something, like because it seemed like the Pong game was probably the hardest, because like apparently these like Serbs were like
drinking the gallon of milk, which is literally impossible.
Dude, Miles Teller did it, bro. He can do the
impossible. You can't do that. Like your stomach, like the enzymes in the milk make you throw up. You can't drink that much milk that quickly.
Yeah,
and like they can kill you.
Do we know?
But, like,
is there somebody with like a mutant X gene that could do that?
There's probably like the super competitive eaters or whatever. There's probably like one or
Joey
two people
Chestnut
who can
do
do
that.
it. Yeah, but like no, for that to be at like a college party, that would like somebody would die. Especially because like milk and alcohol do not mix at all. That's really bad.
Yeah, and like the logistics of like they're doing the keg stand. It's like, if you what if you mess up 75% through, like, and you have to start over?
Yeah,
how many kegs do they have?
Stand? Is it a time thing? Like you have to do it for a certain amount of time?
Yeah, who can drink the most in a set amount of time? Obviously, when they get to the end, man, what was the dude's name? Like the RA or like
I can't remember. He
like
calls himself like the
PJ or
Tower
something.
Master.
Yeah, PJ Bills or something like that.
Something like that.
like he had $50 for the party, and somehow they have like thousands of dollars worth of beer. And,
Yeah,
like,
so they have multiple kegs. He's like, we spent $40 on the chair. Like, that's a funny joke, but like, how did you get the rest of the party together with only $50?
insane.
So I'm, of course, 21 years old, and I am aware of what a keg stand is. But for anybody who may be unaware of what a keg stand is, what is for those people? What is a keg stand?
So essentially, you do a handstand on top of a keg, right? And then you just see how much beer you can drink. Like people count, and they see how long you can stay up there drinking beer for.
Oh. I can barely take 3 sips in a row of beer in one go, let alone a handstand. How does gravity work?
Well,
it's
keg's pressurized.
Yeah, and yeah, alcohol drinking is an acquired skill, so over time you get better at it. We don't know what beer they're drinking. If it was like Natural Light or something like that, that's nasty. That's obviously an even bigger achievement for them to get past that level. But maybe it's something a little more bougie, a little more high quality. So we don't know.
But yeah, like I can't do a keg stand. Like I can't drink beer that way. I can't even really do a beer bong, to be honest.
Really? Is
Yeah,
it just like the amount, like?
Yeah, like drinking anything carbonated has always been a bit of a struggle for me. Like if I drink it too much, it's like my chest just hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've never really done. I can't really shotgun a beer either. Like I've just never really put in the effort to like get good at that sort of thing.
Yeah, because you only really use those skills for like high school, college, maybe a little bit after that, and then after that, yeah, you're not doing that too much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the other thing that I liked about this movie was that one sorority essentially got revenge on Casey and Miles Teller, Miller.
That part of the movie, like, again, I love how stupid this movie is because somehow this one sorority is able to cover the entire campus in this like manhunt for Miller and Casey, because they're like like you're assuming they're probably not going to every part of campus, probably not a lot of the faculty buildings, but they're going in a lot of the like the streets with all the houses and apartments and stuff, maybe some of the like the main streets with the bars and stuff, obviously. So they're covering a big part of the campus, but like this sorority is like literally like everywhere. And there's some of the scenes there where you see like like 20 to 30 in like one location, unless they're like in that like and then when they trick it, oh my gosh, like, so it's so absurd. I love it. It's so absurd.
Okay, the part of this movie that pissed me off, and from that moment I was out on the movie.
Whoa.
Which was the revelation of who Randy is, her boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
So you're telling me, beginning of this movie, one, the scene where they go to the first bar, stupid as hell. Because, so Jeff Chang invites his friend, right? She shows up at the bar, and then immediately they're just like, okay, you two talk, we're going to leave you two. Like, they're just on a blind date now at this birthday party.
Oh man, well, yeah. What was the line? Did Miller or did Jeff Chang want to play darts really bad?
It did feel like they have like a conversation, and then he's just like, "Okay, me and you, we're gone." Well, because they want to hook up. Like, we're just out of here.
Miller crudely like hits on Nicole, and it just flames out, obviously, and so she doesn't want to. Like, she's out on him, he's out on her, and then.
Yeah, but I think not in like a mean way or anything. It's just like she's like, oh, I guess she's into him, so we're out. Like,
yeah,
like you invited her out for your birthday party, and now it's just turned into a blind date for this guy and her.
Did Jeff invite her, or was she just there?
That's the implication I got, because then they're like, she shows up and everybody's like expecting her there. They're all like, "Oh, this is your friend." Like, "Oh, she came." So I assumed that he invited her. But
Because like she was she was his tutor for
Yeah.
remedial. Yeah. So I thought, yeah, but yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And then her boyfriend is at the bar.
Yeah,
And apparently she doesn't know that her boyfriend is at the same bar as her.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until just now.
I mean, in fairness, like apparently Randy has some communication issues because when like I just love like they just steal his phone. Incredible. Like, and he doesn't have a password lock on it as well. Incredible. Like, I guess 2013, that was still the time when I had a bunch of friends in college that just didn't have locks on their phones. So
one thing, it's weird that it's 2013 and nobody in this movie has an iPhone or anything.
Yeah, they have like some of them have flip phones too, right? Like
yeah. And it's I don't know what the constraint is of that, because obviously if you had an iPhone, the plot of this movie isn't a thing.
Yeah. I just thought of like, especially nowadays, like Apple Maps, I know does that for me automatically, and I assume Google Maps can do this too. But like when you park or you like it knows like where you live and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, like even if you're, drunk out of your mind, it can still like guide you home. But yeah, because they all have like flip phones, it just doesn't work. Does the movie ever state what year it is? Because this could be like a 1990s.
No, because they do have phones, so it's got to be 2009 at least, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Because like they have Blackberries and shit.
Yeah.
But so the other thing about this bar scene, which is that they leave, and they just leave her there. Like, they don't even invite her to go with them to the next bar.
Bro, they had to get out. They threw a dart in his face, dude. They had to dip.
I'm just like she's there for this birthday party, and they just leave her. They're just like, okay, we're out of here. Bye. It's not like, hey, we're gonna do a bar crawl or whatever. You want to come? We're just gonna.
In fairness, like they're supposed to be like what 21, 22, like seniors. Like about because they were like, yeah, we're graduating this semester, or at least Casey was, and Jeff Chang, I think. Well, I don't know if Jeff Chang was going to graduate, but
yeah, that's actually
Casey was for sure because he was getting a job.
That's confusing because like you graduated.
Miller dropped out
like 23.
Miller dropped out. Jeff Chang,
right?
We assume, was at the same grade level as everybody else, and then Casey was getting a job with JP Morgan that summer.
Are they like? How younger is Jeff Chang than them?
I assume they were all the same age, right?
That's what I thought.
That's just what I assumed
That's what I assume too, because they're all friends from high school. But they're talking about like this is their last year before.
Yeah, they all get real jobs. Is it just the
last year before they get because Jeff Chang is getting an interview for med school, so he would have already gone through 4 years of college. How is he just turning 21?
Maybe you got in early. like I remember this being a big deal with like my parents, and then just like I know other parents like did it too, of like putting your kid in early or a little bit not like late, like where your birthday like is like early in the year or late in the year, depending on so that because we assume that this is
maybe because they talk about how he was like a genius in high school, right? So maybe he was a couple years ahead of his age in high school.
Yeah.
Suspect. It's suspect.
We're breaking this down, dude.
God, do you think we could get John Lucas and Scott Moore on the show
to ask them the details?
Do they have Twitter accounts?
The directors to watch. We need to know.
Yeah, I'll DM them.
Thank you.
Okay. So another gripe here.
Oh yes.
Can I just
bring treating Casey getting an internship like it's a ridiculous thing for him to do? Just be like him being a responsible person is just like so out of the question.
It wasn't an internship. It was an externship, which I had never heard of before.
I haven't either. Is that like just like you come in and it's like an internship that like guarantees a job or whatever?
Yeah, so externships it says it here on Google are just short-term professional learning experiences. So internships are usually like I had interns in college that were just over the summer. So it'd be like from May till like late August or not like late July, early August. Or sometimes if you're like able to fit it in for like college credit, like during a semester or something like that. Externships are I guess like a week or 2 weeks or something like that. Like super. I've never really heard about that.
Okay,
but,
so I've read books about like people in finance and stuff, and he's going to work at JP Morgan, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of the times what they'll do is like they'll hire you as
or not JP Morgan.
Like
I think he had an externship at JP Morgan, and then he got a job at like some something capital.
Yeah,
right?
he's going into finance.
Yeah.
And what a lot of the financial firms, I guess what they do is like they hire people out, and then like you have to pass an exam to get in to be able to be a broker or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're hired on there as essentially like a grunt until you pass the thing.
Yeah, like Wall Street 2, Money Never Sleeps, starring
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes,
but like
I'm kind of with Miller though. Like it's your last spring break, like, and you really want to be hustling and grinding for like a week and not just chilling with your friends before you like.
If you're getting like a good career, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You're an adult now.
It's both. I see both sides.
I do get to be like, oh man, we want to go out for like spring break and like hang out or whatever, and you're gonna like go take a job, but it's like, yeah, he has to. Like he's in finance, which is an extremely competitive field. But it's not just Miller too. It's what's her name? The girl. She acts like it's an insane thing for him to do too.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
that could just be like flirting, gamesmanship a little bit maybe there from.
Well, no, because like she's
character.
like, well, I'm going off to South America or whatever. I'm going to spend all this time there and I'm going to have fun. You're going to go be a finance bro or whatever. Like,
what's it called? What was it? Gap year, right, Makenna?
Oh, mm-hmm.
Like is she just gonna travel the globe for an entire year instead of?
Yeah,
that was wild. Because she seemed like Casey, where she like was on the ball with like all of her, academics.
We know nothing about her.
True, we don't. We
actually don't. They don't even say what she majored in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe nursing.
Is she?
She patches up Jeff Chang with the briar patches in his ass. A lot of butt shots in this movie.
Okay, that was another one of my notes. My first note was, it's going to be a good movie when it starts with butts.
Yeah. I don't know why too. Like the tube socks on their dicks just cracked me up. I don't know because they were so long.
I know. I wasn't expecting.
Like,
how are
is
they
this like Kevin Durant's?
on?
Are these like Kevin Durant's tube socks that they stole? Like, what is going on here? Like.
Yes. I do find it interesting though that like I like that. Hold on, let me see if I can explain this in a coherent way. So like when we got to that shot, there was still, that wasn't like the end of the movie. There was still bits after that we had to get through as well. Like we got to that so starts with the butts.
There's still the entire third act.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, there's still
dude, we gotta break down like the time crunch of them like doing all that stuff in like 36 minutes or whatever. Like, bro, yeah. Like they must have had like a time turner, like Hermione Granger.
They had to have. There's no way. And then it's still. He still didn't go to the interview. Like he stood up and didn't go to the interview.
He's like, I'm out.
Oh yeah.
And apparently there was no repercussions because we don't ever find out what happened with.
Oh yeah, wait.
The movie ends with just fucking B-roll shots of them at a festival.
What happened?
Okay, what are y'all's opinions on like major big ass festivals like that? Because you don't like them, Jose?
I've never been, and they mm-mm.
No.
I don't like going to big concerts. Like I
Yeah.
like going into like club concerts.
Yeah.
When you're at a concert and you're like so far back, I feel like what's even the point? Like I might as well just go listen to this in my fucking bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
and then just like all the people there, and you're there for multiple days. You're camping there. Just no, out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very similar. I mean, I like concerts, but not like festivals where it's just jam packed. You're all sweaty and gross, and yeah, camping and you can't shower. And I mean, maybe one day I'd like to experience it once, but I mean, I'll be okay if I don't. It's okay. But
I'm largely the same. Like when you're just like standing for however many hours and you're just like shoulder to shoulder with people, it's like definitely not like a perfect scenario. But I mean, I've gone to a couple, and it's like I definitely liked going to like the few I did. But yeah, it's like it's definitely like a certain like you like for because I'm not like that speed normally, and so I kind of had to like mentally like shift gears to like, all right, I'm gonna like it's gonna be hot, it's gonna be like shoulder to shoulder with random people, like yeah, beers flying everywhere. Like you kind of have to like get in that mindset, but it's kind of fun, and obviously, you know, depending on who's playing, that might influence you know, your experience. So yeah.
yeah, it's I do have a okay, maybe I'm just dumb and I don't know how we got to the point. When the sorority girls were looking for Casey and Miller, and they show up at the motel that Jeff Chang's dad's at,
Mhm.
why did they go there specifically? Like, did they know that there was a possibility they could have been there? Was that just like when they look for people? Like,
well, so apparently, you know, they've got this massive like network,
right?
You know, so like, you know, maybe they were like, these guys are probably out of towners, just an assumption. So they're like, let's check the hotel. You know, maybe they like looked up the, you know, the school, you know, database of like students, and they're like, hey, you know, these guys aren't students. Like, let's try to track them down. Like, I don't know, but yeah, again, yeah, like I said, it's like they were just everywhere. Like, because like usually hotels like that, like at least at my like college, like they weren't on campus. They were like 5 to 10 minutes away or something like that. Like,
similar.
Yeah, so I assume they were just like going all over the place.
The radius of places.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that was like, what are the chances they go to the same hotel that Jeff Chang's dad's at? But yeah, I think I had something else, but I don't remember. Oh no, just more butt stuff. Well, not that.
What were you gonna say about the butt stuff?
It was Miles Teller's butt was essentially all that I had. It's interesting seeing Miles Teller because this was like one of his first movie roles, and then in the time period that we're in now with his success from Top Gun Maverick, it's like, oh, what a like.
We're still in the period where Miles Teller exclusively played assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like because I remember seeing this like sometime when it came out, and then like the Divergent movie, and then like a bunch, and just for a while all he did was just play the douchebag in movies.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
like
weird.
Yeah, looking at his like filmography, like he had done Rabbit Hole, Footloose, Project X, Spectacular Now, and 21 and Over. So out of those 5 projects, I haven't seen Footloose, but like at least bare minimum 2 out of even Spectacular Now. I mean, that's like a you know, a little more complicated, but yeah, he's like
he starts off as the asshole in that one.
Yeah,
and learns
yeah,
to grow.
Yeah. So like, Yeah. He definitely was typecast a little bit.
Even into Whiplash. He's an asshole in Whiplash. Like, all this dude did for like 10
he
years.
he starts off
play...
normal and then gets converted into an asshole.
Yeah. There was just like a time in Hollywood where they're like, okay, this character, he's kind of a dick. Oh, we should get Miles Teller for that. He'll be good.
Yeah, that awkward moment. I haven't seen Get a Job, but yeah, War Dogs. Fantastic Four is obviously like the outlier. But even Reed Richards as a character, he's like egotistical, like arrogant guy a little bit.
He's not really in that movie though. That movie
no,
just like a dork.
Yeah,
but like I think like War Dogs was sort of a turn. That's when he started doing like, I say like real movies, even though like War Dogs isn't that great, but like people like were anticipating War Dogs was going to be like people thought that movie was going to get like Oscar noms and stuff before it came out.
Yeah,
so that's when he started doing like, and yeah, now he's Rooster, right?
I know. Yeah, now they're going to do Top Gun Rooster or whatever, and that one's going to make a billion as well.
Yeah, I think the only Miles Teller movie that I had seen before this was Fantastic Four. So you know.
What?
Yeah.
You'd seen Fantastic Four?
I saw it in theaters too.
Wait, so
that's
yeah,
so
me too.
Character for you.
I know.
Yeah. Wait, you haven't seen Top Gun Maverick?
No. I want to. I've thought about it because there's a movie theater where I'm close by to where I'm living. But I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But I've heard it's good. I've heard good things about it.
It's really good.
I should have gone with Warwick Davis when I saw him a couple weeks ago. Should have invited him. Hey, you want to see Top Gun Maverick?
Yeah, pay for his ticket.
I know.
Oh, man.
He went into the movie theater. Like, I should have just been like, hey, let's go see Top Gun, dog. Missed my chance.
It's opportunity.
I know. And then I saw, sidebar, because now that this is not related at all. I thought I saw, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Greg Davies. He does like Taskmaster and he was in the In-Betweeners and stuff. I thought I saw him last week. It wasn't him. But I almost said something. When I was with people, I was like, is that Greg Davies? And then I realized, no, that dude's not tall enough. But anyway, sorry. Didn't mean to. I wanted to say that piece before I forgot about it. Yeah, 21 over. It being 21 and watching this movie, I was like, man, I didn't do shit for my 21st birthday.
Also, the cops were way too chill.
Oh yeah,
that was the joke. That was the joke that made me laugh out loud.
Dude, yeah, the getting down. Yeah, that was good. That was so good.
Down, and he starts dancing. He's like, "What's he doing?" I think he's getting down. that joke was really funny.
That was a good one.
And like he's got a teddy bear glued to his dick. Like,
oh man,
that okay. Like
every fucking movie these guys make, they make me look at dicks.
Bro, I watched this movie. I think this was the third time I've seen it. I watched it in like 2014 when it was on Netflix, like a year after it came out. I think I watched it in like 2016, 2017, like a few years later, just because I probably saw it on Netflix or something. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, whatever. I don't remember like seeing the dick get stretched like that. That
looked like it hurt. Like
I was like, maybe the Netflix cut that I had watched previously like had just like, you know, no pun intended here, snipped out that like 2-second part, like where you actually see it get stretched. So I was like, oh my gosh, like.
Are you sure it was on Netflix? Maybe you saw it like on TV, like a TV cut.
Netflix for the first time, but that was like 8 years ago, so I might have just forgotten that.
Yeah, I know I saw this movie like when it came out, and straight up like just out of my brain.
Yeah,
I thought of it again.
Yeah. But it reminded me of like Step Brothers with like the drum set scene where you like see like obviously it's like clearly fake of like prosthetic or something.
Yeah, that it's like a super obvious prosthetic. I thought it was it made me think of The Hangover, because in The Hangover they also when Mr. Chang or whatever is in the trunk and he jumps out and he attacks them and he's naked.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, like this movie again. So it's so crude, but like just the stoner stereotype of like they're so chill no matter who like your relation is to them. Like they're like we gotta go up the Tower of Power, and they're like we're just gonna leave Jeff Chang with these two random stoners, and like for it largely works out. Like they mess with him a little bit at the end where they like draw on him and then glue. Yeah, they had like super glue or something, and they like glued the teddy bear to him.
Yeah, that's like beyond anything that's ever happened at a party. Because like the rule of thumb at parties, right, is if somebody passes out, you get to write on them with Sharpie. That's like the unspoken rule of the party.
Yeah.
But like gluing something onto like at first I thought they had like glued it onto like
That's what I thought.
His underwear or something. Yeah.
Mhm.
or just like onto like just like the like not directly the tip of his penis.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That was why. But like, in some respects, the I can't remember, the however many parties I've been to, like, yeah, like there's just always two stoners just sitting on a couch, just not moving always. Or doing anything. And they're always just because they were in that first room, but they were a little off to the side, and they definitely did their homework on that aspect of the movie.
What? Okay, so now I'm thinking about the teddy bear situation. What he went to health services after that?
Mm-hmm.
Why could they have taken
That's
it off?
An excellent question.
So okay, what was it like? We don't know the time frame of like because Casey and Miller got like
he gets arrested at night and they show up there in the morning, so he's been there for hours.
And so
they would have cleaned him up. They would have taken the teddy bear off of his dick.
Yeah, they put him in clothes. Like they saw it. Plus, I mean, you could probably see it through any pain. Like it's gonna,
Maybe we just chalk it up to like a nurse just being like, I'm not getting paid enough for this. It's 3 a.m., 4 a.m., whatever. Like, I'm just gonna put him in this room and just just make sure he doesn't off himself or whatever. Like, yeah, but yeah, that like I totally forgot of that. Like, they just like they throw on the little scrubs or whatever for like however many hours, and the teddy bear is so glued to his dick. Maybe the cops, when they arrested him or brought him in, they threw something on him, and then he had that outfit on when he went into health services, and so the nurses didn't notice. I don't know.
The plot of this movie is like the most low stakes thing of all time.
Yeah,
like it's like they couldn't think of a plot for the movie.
Like it's low stakes, but I think there's something. And this movie is obviously it's not like the highest form of cinema, but like there's I do like the intricacies of the mundane of like the low stakes of like life too. Like I mean, I know I have had not something like this where I had a medical interview, but like oh yeah, I'm going out, but like I know I have to be up at like 7 or whatever to like do something early in the morning or whatever. So I mean, I think that aspect of it was interesting just from of like, oh yeah, I remember like again like low stakes, mundane, but like you wanted to have fun, but then like get your stuff done the next day.
I think that like that part of it is good. It's just like they can't figure out where he lives. Like that's such like a stupid initiator for the movie.
It so is, but I said earlier in my life, I've had a couple of times like that where I'm like even in my own campus where I'm like I'm like I was drunk out of my mind. I'm like I gotta like go to Brad's house where like, but he new semester, new year, like he's in a different like where does he live like, and I'm just like stumbling around campus. Like I've had those moments, dude. Like so, I don't know, but yeah.
But like it's just like come up with a better idea for your movie, man. Like, or at least switch it up. Like, get the like, have them lose Jeff Chang for a bit, and they got to go find him somewhere, or like keep things just like the entire movie just being like they can't figure out where he lives. Like, it stretches credulity to the point where like they just go by the house and they're just like, yep, we just didn't realize we were at the house.
Hey, that you know, that's high level cinema there, man. Having the guy be dancing in the same spot, and you know, there's, you know, different angle, like.
Then they bring him back at the very end. That's how Miller
That-
gets into college.
I love that part of the movie. It's classic show don't tell. Like, again, it's like the exact same scenario as the main bulk of the movie of like he has that, you know, school interview the next day or admissions or whatever, and you know, he wants to have fun at the festival, but he has to get up, and then like he's wearing like a coroner's like jumpsuit. He has like purple dyed hair, like
I want to see that movie.
I know. I was like, too bad this movie like didn't do well like in the box office or whatever, and critically too. But like, I was like, dude, like totally a sequel of whatever they gotta do. Like,
did that guy just become like he, because like they say that he's a professor, so just like over summer he went from being a professor at one school to being the dean of admissions at another school?
Was it the same? It was the same school, I think, right? Because that's where Jeff Chang.
He says the name of the school when he's going to get admissions there. I thought it was a different school.
Yeah, because that's where Jeff Chang went, and that's where the professor taught as well, right? And so, yeah, that is like an interesting plot.
Just, his career path is just like
that is an interesting plot hole because, like, you know.
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, I read the synopsis for 21 and Over to find out what. So he applies to the same university. And then the last line is, Jeff is pursuing music and has a girlfriend. Did we know that Jeff is pursuing music at the end? Did he say about that?
Where is the synopsis at?
Wikipedia.
He says, I'm gonna start making music again. I'm gonna do this. Okay. It's not like he's like, man, this movie really fails Jeff Chang as a character. I'll say that. Like, it really sucks because, frankly,
he's a plot device for most of it.
Yeah, but he's the most interesting character in the movie. He's got the most going on. And they just fucking like, he's like, yeah, for most of the movie they just like have him be like dead.
Yeah, he definitely has the most going on. I do think there's something to like the Miller character of like, I mean, I know I've definitely had in my life moments of like, you know, like what the hell is like my purpose? Like what do I do? And so like with him like dropping out, like I didn't drop out, but like with him dropping out and then just like kind of going through life, like I've definitely felt that before. So I do definitely think that, but that's like a little more subtle and like harder to portray and convey in a movie, whereas Jeff Chang, like what his character is about is easily more told. So I think there's something to the Miller character for sure.
I think it's fine, but like like I said, like I think the movie like pulls its punches too much because it's very clear that they wanted Jeff Chang at some point when they were writing this movie. Jeff Chang committed suicide. And then at some point they decided that was too far. Yeah. And total cop out about that. Like that pissed me off. That
wait.
Like,
oh, okay. I totally forgot that Jeff Chang has a girlfriend. Like, because at the end of the festival, like, literally
she's
Miller's
credited as hippie girlfriend in the credits.
I just love how when they're talking about what's the festival called, Sidewinder, at the Gorge, I think like that, which like I know I've known that place exists, but I've always, now I really want to go again after seeing it. I was like, that's gorgeous, it's beautiful, just that venue. But like literally Miller talks multiple times about just like going to that and just like making out with so many people, and then like literally at the end you see him like literally making out with a girl, and then like he just like swaps over to another girl on the left. And I thought Jeff Chang had the same deal, but I guess he just had.
No, he's got a girlfriend. Like he is with the same girl in every single shot.
Did he meet her there? Because it seemed like, or like, was she a hippie and then like, yeah.
No idea, man.
Wait, did she have dreadlocks? Because he did not like dreadlocks.
She does not. She does not have dreadlocks.
Okay.
This is why we need to have the directors on. We have questions we need answered, damn it.
You can sign up for Jose, do you have IMDb Pro?
No, I don't.
Okay. Because like you get IMDb Pro, right? You can like reach out to like their agents and stuff, right? Like
Oh my god. Huh.
Yeah. I remember almost signing up for that like 10 years ago for like something stupid with some friends in college. But yeah, you can, I think, like contact the agents. Obviously if they're like big stars, they, it's like Entourage where it's like, hundreds of people in an office. So you're not going to actually like get, in touch with maybe the main person. But yeah, we gotta reach out to John and Scott. Because they wrote and directed this movie, so they were like, "This is their vision."
This was their like shot, and it didn't go so well for them.
although, what small financial success? I mean, $10-13 million budget.
Mm-hmm.
And it made like 40 million, right?
48. It says 48.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So even if the marketing was 10-13 million as well.
Yeah, like this, it was a financial success, but it didn't have like I imagined that they were told to like give them the next Hangover, and they did, because like Todd Phillips just got to make 3 Hangover movies and then do whatever he wants now just because he made the Hangover. So like I imagine this was like, hey, you guys did the Hangover, go give us another big comedy hit, and like. It did not have the impact they were hoping for. Yeah,
because I'm looking at the production company and who distributed Hangover, and it's not the same like companies as the people who distributed 21 and Over. So yeah, it probably was something like some other company was like, hey, like let's try to get these guys who were involved with that movie and try to recapture or emulate. Or make the next big film in that vein. And I don't like even objectively, because I'm biased clearly, but like even objectively, like this movie I wouldn't say is a total failure. I feel like there was definitely a couple jokes, and like I said, like I felt like every time Miller, like Miles Teller's character, like was just saying something funny, absurd, or like crazy. And like it was like almost like Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. It was like
a bunch of like
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, like this movie needed a lot more like jokes.
Yeah,
like it's a lot of just like they just like move from scene to scene and just like banter the entire time. Yeah,
and like because Makenna, you brought up earlier, like you like checked to see how much left was in the movie, and when I rewatched it yesterday, I didn't pause it, but I did was I felt like, I don't know if a lull is the right word, but like I definitely felt the movie's length a little bit, and it's not that long. It's 93 minutes, right? And so I rewatched Project X a few weeks ago, and that's 88 minutes, right? And that movie just goes. Like that movie does not have like a single second to like sit down and just marinate in what it's trying to do, which I think is a success for Project X. But yeah, with 21 and Over, and obviously, yeah, like we said, there's like some whiplash, again, no pun intended, of like the funny, zany stuff, but then you have some of the serious stuff. But yeah, this movie's only like 5 minutes longer, but it definitely feels way longer than that compared to Project X.
The plot doesn't have enough to like dictate what they need to keep doing.
Yeah.
So like like the sorority that they go to for like that doesn't need to be in the movie. Like it doesn't like they don't do anything there. They don't accomplish anything there.
Hey, we
it's
get
just like it's like there's some funny stuff like the but it's just like
pledge mission.
you just like you're filling up time.
We do get a Shining homage. Come on.
That's true.
Where they break through the
Yeah, again,
it did have a
great
chuckle
directors.
there where they're escaping it and he's like, oh hey, that's her sorority. Oh cool. Like I like that little exchange of like how nonchalantly they find the actual sorority, but like
dude,
they're like throwing him off the
I laughed. They throw him off the movie what 2 times?
Yeah,
like that is just funny to me. Like just like let's just throw our friend. I feel like pool covers wouldn't bounce you.
no, it would not. No.
No.
He would have gone straight through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like
it
that part
that makes no sense at all. Unless like the pool was drained, right, and they just had the cover over it. Then like,
also
it wouldn't bounce him though, right?
No, not that much.
yeah, or he would just like pancake onto the pool cover and just like sit there and like get really
which
hurt.
actually might have been that would have been a funnier bit is if he just went straight through the pool cover.
Oh my gosh. Can we talk about I know like sorority houses are are just probably built differently than normal houses, but like that like veranda or whatever is like attached to the bathroom. Like that was odd, right? Because like
why is there a balcony out of the bathroom?
Yeah, a balcony. It's like, hey, it's 70 degrees. I want to read a book and drink some tea, but I gotta walk by my friend Lisa dropping a deuce. Like that's so weird. What is that? What is this house? What is this house, dude? Again, like we've brought up like 50 different things like that in this movie. That's why this movie is so freaking great, dude. It's just so absurd and weird, and
you never know what's gonna happen next. Like you think you do, and then you're just presented once again with butts and two socks on dicks.
The movie just keeps going.
Would you make out like I literally Casey and Miller like stop making out and they get branded? Like I don't care what orientation you are, like dude, I'm not getting branded.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why they were so trepidatious about that.
Also dude, like the homoerotic like comedy of like Miller like or Casey's like, dude, are you getting hard right now? And he's like, you're a good kisser. I was like, oh my gosh. Just like, dude, what an insane movie. What an insane movie.
I've come around. I like this movie a lot.
Really?
Let's go.
Really?
Yes. Let's go.
This movie sucked, man.
Let's go.
I legit like by the end of this movie, I was upset with Brett that he picked this movie.
Yes. Let's go. That's why I picked this movie. I was like, you're like, dude, we got to do an HBO Max podcast. And I was like, okay, obviously I got, my boys I got to pick from. And I was like, who else is doing, how many 21 and over podcasts are there in the history of the world? Like 5?
We're the first one. Oh my god. Oh, maybe 5.
I mean, is there a market to be served there? Are people clamoring for 21 and over podcasts?
I also picked this movie right now because there's still that Top Gun juice with Rooster and Miles Teller. So I was like, come on, we got to like tie that in a little bit. So that, but yeah, like, dude, how many people are doing 21 and over podcasts, bro? Not too many. Not too many.
Well, I did just look up 21 and over on Twitter, and the first tweet I see is from you, Brett, about watching the movies.
People are not talking about this movie too much.
Let's go.
Brandon, do you have any final parting thoughts about this movie?
We skipped over the problematic elements of the movie.
Oh yeah,
we should acknowledge
there were a couple in here that I like totally forgot about, and obviously it was probably something like I don't like marinate and think about like those.
You're not sitting there thinking about like,
Yeah,
what are the implications of 21 and over?
There were two moments where I was like, oh whoa, like, and this is 2013. Like this is like,
yeah, there's the sort of like the general racism and homophobia that you find in comedies of the time.
Yeah,
but yeah, there's a sexual assault in the movie that is played for laughs. That's not great. That's not awesome.
No. Uh-oh.
So yeah. Yeah, I didn't like this movie.
You forgot to bring up the racist line in the beginning from Miller.
There's like a bunch of them.
Well, like he talks like A Christmas Story, like from the restaurant with like the R.
Oh yeah.
That was when I was like, oh, like that they put that in the movie, really? Weird.
Yeah.
Weird choice. Bad choice.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that in the movie that's not super great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm never gonna watch this movie again.
Wait until we were joking about it a few days ago. Like, I might start a Miles Teller podcast, and if I do that, I'm having you on for 21 and over.
No,
dude. Guaranteed.
No, I will come on for some other movies, but
tell me about Teller, bro.
I don't want to think about this movie ever again.
Yeah.
Come on. Brett, do you have any final parting thoughts about your choice?
So I watched it with some friends last night, and I've kind of echoed this sentiment already in the podcast, but so yeah, like sometimes it's just fun to watch dumb, stupid movies that don't enrich your life at all. Like it's just fun to watch a movie where people do stupid stuff, say stupid stuff, and like just get in stupid situations, and it's a fun ride. It's 90 minutes, whatever. And so and kind of like it's not a good movie, but I think largely or for the good portion that it achieved what it aimed to do. Like it's not high cinema, but it's like a stupid party movie, and so I thought it achieved that. And I think like I really do think Miles Teller like was good in this movie. Like I feel like all the quips and stuff like really like made him the standout character in this movie. I mean, there's only a couple obviously, but he definitely, I felt like, quote unquote, carried the movie. And yeah, thank you guys for letting me do this. Like, just tip of the cap to you guys, man. Seriously.
Thank you for coming on. And where can people find you on the internet?
Yeah, so I'm a part of a content group called Shared Screens, where Tell Me About Teller will be airing in the future at some point. We cover like pop culture, video games, pretty much everything under the sun. We'll talk about it and have fun. And then on occasion, I'll stream over on twitch.tv/JimTasty.
On occasion, you stream like every day.
I was gonna say I get a notification every day when you go live.
Yeah, where I'll play like Fortnite or Fall Guys. I play pretty much anything. So yeah, and we have Miles Teller channel point rewards on my channel. It's a fun time. Yeah,
it's amazing. And Brandon, where can people find you?
People can find me on all the social media accounts like Twitter and Instagram at Jose Ruckus, and they can also find me on twitch.tv/Jose Ruckus. I stream on occasion.
You're starting your stream up soon, right?
I am. I mean, obviously, people aren't going to be able to. I'm going to stream tonight, but obviously, you're listening to the podcast. That was a week ago, so yeah. So yeah, don't look for me to stream the day this podcast comes out, but yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at PotterPants212. You can find me other places following the link in my bio. I do not stream ever, so sorry about that. And you can follow the podcast on Twitter at HBO Max, HBO Maks, and you can find all your fun streaming platform things in YouTube. If you made it this far, comment
butt stuff.
Yes.
If you made it this far, comment tube stock. Just put tube stock in the comments, and I'll like it, and I'll give you $5.
There you go. Think you for watching this episode, and
like, subscribe, do all the
that's
things. 5-star ratings on Apple
Call to
Apple and
action.
Spotify. Do the interact with the content in the way to trick the algorithm into thinking this is a good show.
Yes, we want a cease and desist from HBO. That's our goal.
Yep.
Whoa, I love it.
As soon as we get a cease and desist from HBO, we're going to quit this podcast and start a new podcast.
Yes, that is the exact same premise. It's under a different name.
I love it.
Yeah. Yes, thank you for watching, and butt stuff.